There's a specific moment that happens in homes with cats all over the world, almost every single day.
Most people have never stopped to really think about it. Somewhere between 15 minutes and an hour before you walk through the door, your cat gets up. It leaves whatever warm, comfortable spot it was curled in. It walks to the front door and sits down. It waits there. Not randomly. Not because it heard a car that turned out to be someone else's. It waits there because somehow it already knows you're coming. That might sound impossible, but researchers have spent decades trying to understand exactly how cats do it. The answers are far more fascinating than most people realize. Welcome back to Cat Decoded. If you're new here, stay a while and subscribe if you enjoy learning about the fascinating lives of the animals who share our homes. Today, we're going to look at what's actually happening when your cat does this. We'll cover what science has uncovered about how they do it. And by the end, I think you'll understand this small daily ritual a little differently than you did this morning. Let's start with the obvious question. How would a cat possibly know when you're about to arrive? It has no clock. It can't read a schedule. And yet, cat owners all over the world report the same thing, almost word for word. Their cat wasn't at the door all day. Then, sometime shortly before they got home, it was. The first and most well-documented explanation involves something cats are extraordinarily good at: sound. A cat's hearing range extends up to around 64 kilohertz. That's beyond human hearing, and beyond most of what a dog can pick up as well. That means a cat can detect the specific sound of your car engine. It can pick out your particular walk. It can even hear the distant hum of a bus you usually take. All of it, long before any of it is audible to you or anyone else in the house. Researchers studying feline hearing have noted that cats can distinguish between extremely similar sounds with remarkable precision. That means a cat isn't just hearing traffic in general. It's picking out one specific set of sounds out of every car and every person passing by. The one that belongs specifically to you. But if it were only about hearing, the mystery would already be solved. There are countless stories of cats waiting at the door before any recognizable sound could possibly reach them. That's where the next explanation becomes even more interesting. Cats are creatures of extremely precise routine. Their internal sense of time is built around consistency, feeding schedules, sleep patterns, the rhythm of a household. Several animal behaviorists have proposed that cats develop what's essentially an internal anticipation clock. It's tied not to hours and minutes the way we think of them. It's tied to the pattern of a day repeating itself. If you leave for work at roughly the same time and return at roughly the same time, 5 days a week, your cat's internal rhythm adjusts to that. And it does so with a level of precision that surprises most people the first time they learn about it. Owners often describe something striking here. A cat that's normally asleep somewhere else in the house happens to already be at the door, even on days when the owner comes home earlier than usual, after a schedule suddenly changed. Moments like that don't prove exactly how cats do it, but they're common enough to make you wonder whether it's routine alone at work or something more. There's also a third idea worth mentioning, though it sits on much shakier ground than the first two. A small number of researchers, most notably in studies from the 1990s and early 2000s, have claimed that some cats and dogs seem to anticipate a specific person's return, even when that person's schedule changes unpredictably. These studies attempted to control for sound and smell, and reported results their authors considered difficult to explain. It's worth being upfront, though. This line of research is far from mainstream consensus. Most scientists who've reviewed it point to methodological problems, and it's generally treated as unproven rather than established fact. It's an interesting thread to pull on, but not something to take as settled science. What the more solid research does show is that the bond between an animal and a specific person is strong enough to shape real, observable behavior. built from routine and finely tuned senses working together. Somewhere inside that quiet little mind, you've become more than a person who occasionally walks through the front door. You've become part of the rhythm of its world, a familiar set of sounds, a daily pattern, a presence so important that your return has become one of the moments your cat quietly plans its day around. That's not indifference. That's not a cat that simply tolerates you. That's a cat that has quietly built part of its day around the moment you come home. And if you've ever opened your front door and found your cat already sitting there, looking up at you like it had been waiting the whole time, it probably had been. Not because it was told to, not because you called it, because somewhere in the pattern of your life, it learned to recognize the shape of the moment you return. And every single day, without being asked, it chooses to be there when that moment arrives.
I'd love to hear from you. Does your cat wait for you by the door? What time does it usually show up, and how far in advance? Before we go, there's something we'd like you to know. A portion of what this channel earns goes toward helping stray cats through food, medical care, and shelter. So every view, every like, and every subscription helps support that in some way. Thank you for being part of something bigger than this channel. I'll see you in the next one.